Chicago pizza, New York
Chicago
style
pizza.
crust. You sent me that.
I did send you that because you like Chicago pizza. I thought maybe you could change my mind on it. All right, back this week. Even though Ken's doing his own thing, I'm going to talk.
Somebody sent me a link.
I did not send that to you.
Is this rolling right now?
It is rolling.
So this is the Ken and Chris Hour show? Somebody sent me a
Ken and
link
Chris.
and I don't know, huh?
Ken, Chris.
Somebody sent me a link that they're doing something in southern Indiana. I thought it was you.
Yeah,
And it's
no.
being put on by former police and fire departments and first aid EMS. It's like a self-responder type of thing.
Okay.
And I've been talking about this for years.
Right.
Matter of fact, when I've taught other classes, other places, we want to prepare people to be self-responders. And by that is,
That's what I was going to say. What do you mean by that? Because there's a lot of things I
okay,
can think of.
all right, so if we're in if I'm in a car accident and I get hurt, who am I gonna call? I dial who?
911.
911. And what am I asking them to send? Especially if I think there's a bad guy there.
The police.
Police. And why do I want the police?
EMS?
Well, I don't want EMS right away,
Well, if
if
you've been
there's a
in-
bad guy.
I thought you said in a car crash.
A terrorist ran into my car.
Which scenario we gotta look at here? All right, so you've been hit by the terrorist.
All right, so, yeah, why do I wanna call the police? If there's a bad guy lurking in my house or around my house?
Protection, self-preservation. You're trying to protect
Why,
yourself, your
why
family.
the police though?
your-
Why the police?
Because that's how they're trained. They're trained to come protect you, and they're trained to deal with that bad guy, trained to engage with him if need be.
Well, I'm trying to engage. What is the one thing that the police officer offers that a EMS or fire department doesn't
They
offer?
have the ability to arrest you.
I can arrest you here as a proprietor. That's not why do I
You're
want?
gonna do the citizen's arrest.
No, I could, but why do I? If there's a bad guy with a
All right,
gun
Gilmore,
on the
obviously,
scene,
I
if
don't-
there's an active shooter, my gosh.
I don't know
If
where
there's
you're
an
going with
active
it.
shooter on the scene,
All right.
and
I
I'm
feel like I'm
there,
being tested.
you are being tested.
Oh,
All right?
All right.
And I call 911.
All right.
Who do I want to show up?
Chris.
No.
police.
Why the police? Why the police if there's an active shooter?
So you'd have another shooter on your side.
Thank you. That's exactly. I don't want. I mean, if there's a bad guy with a
You should
gun,
just told me you wanted more ammo.
I don't need more ammo. I got plenty of ammo
I'm
to
gonna
give
bring the
away.
ammo when I come as the police.
This is why I believe in self-responders, is because the response time in our city is 6 to 7 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it
All
depends on night and what shift, what area.
We know the shooting that took
Yeah.
place up in Dayton, in 30
Yeah.
seconds, but those police were on scene at that event.
That's right.
And they still 9 people were killed, all right?
That's right.
So when we're talking about self-responder, I mean, a first responder, a real first responder is the self-responder on the scene,
Right.
right?
I'll give you that.
Then if they call 911, 911's a second responder.
Right.
And then they dispatch the police as the third responder.
I'll give
There's
you
a lot to go through.
Yeah, there's a big succession in there.
But
that
the
goes
difference
on.
between calling for police is that they have a gun and they're trained to use it. And that's what we want. We want someone who's trained to use it. And so when we talk about having a self-responder class,
Right.
we're not citizens arrest and all that stuff. We're not making people into cops. But we are trying to train people that if they're in a situation between now and when the good guys arrive, they can respond to that scene
Okay.
as a self-responder. A good guy with a gun. A good guy with a gun, whether he's law enforcement or a civilian, is still what stops active youth. And even police will agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Across the board.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Good guy. I publicize it on my personal Facebook all the time. Good guy with a gun stops an evil person with a gun.
Exactly. And one of the things, and I said I saw this, somebody sent me a link and I wish someone would send it again, but they're doing something in southern Indiana, which is great, but we've talked about doing it here. We teach the armed security guard class. There's only a few counties in Kentucky that you have to have a permit to be an armed security guard, right?
Right.
Jefferson County is one of them.
Right.
We teach a 40-hour class here that is recognized by the city that you could take. We give you a certificate after completion. You can take down and then you can get an armed security guard permit as long as you have an intent for a hire from a company. What I'd like to do is take that class and open it up to anybody. And it's still going to be the armed security guard class, but we can also call it the self-responder class. Everything that I think that a good guy with a gun that would be needed is taught in this class.
So
such as,
you're putting, I was gonna say, you're putting together the curriculum.
we already
you know.
have it.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. You were putting it together.
Yes.
You were doing that, and I haven't looked over. So tell me what all is in it, because I know a few things you and I've talked about, but what all?
Well, what the city requires is that you have to have a certain amount of hands-on handgun training, which we offer, all right?
Okay, so like live fire.
Live fire, you have
Okay.
to have at least 8 hours on the range, so to speak,
Okay.
right? So firearms instruction, you have to have instruction in fire safety, you have to have instruction in first aid, you have to have instruction in crowd control and understanding crowds,
First aid, is that CPR or just first aid?
first aid, and we offer CPR and first aid.
Okay.
It's the basic life-saving course that's offered.
Yeah, the Red Cross.
It is the American Heart,
Obviously,
but that's part of it. And we'll even throw in some gunshot wound stuff in there too
Okay.
for people. So what we want to offer is, it's already there if you want to become an armed security guard. If you want to be hired by any armed security guard company, you have to have training. And we're one of the places that offer the training.
Okay.
Um,
And what company is it, like Brinks or somebody?
Brinks does their own training.
Okay.
But Brinks used to come to us.
Okay.
But they have their own training. G4S and Wayland and Securitas, some of them do it in-house.
Okay.
Some of them will send it to us.
Okay.
But we want to open it up to civilians where if you took 40 hours of training, it's going to cost you in excess of $400 for all this put together.
Right, yeah.
We do it for like $250.
Oh, wow, so yeah.
And we're doing it 2 weekends in a row. So, and then 1 weekend for concealed carry, because here in Jefferson County, you have to have a concealed carry permit. Constitutional concealed carry is not sufficient if you're gonna become an armed security guard.
Okay. How's it play into like the bodyguard world? Like if, you're some CEO and you wanna hire me, I mean, would those type of people be coming to take this?
They very well could, personal protection.
Okay.
It all depends on the individual company.
Okay.
Right. What we're doing is, say you had the Chris Security Services,
Mhm.
and you want to provide personal protection for Ken Pagano. I would contact you, you would get somebody to sign on, and then, to have a permit and with all the stuff like that, you more than likely are gonna have to go through the city Bureau of Licensing to get one, and then you could just hire people out.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, this whole world is, unknown to me. Again,
Yeah,
where
you
I'm in the
could-
police.
20 years, yeah, law enforcement.
Because they just hired us and we showed up in our police uniform.
And you had all the arrest back. But I mean,
So this is all new to me. I'm learning from you as we're going with this.
okay, so the training that we provide, once you get the certificate and you've got an intent to hire, you can go down to the
So I have
licensing.
to have that intent to get that certificate?
Not to get, it's like this, if you took our concealed carry class here,
Okay.
you get the training that is provided by Department of Justice, Richmond,
Mm-hmm.
and they will issue a certificate that you took the training.
Okay.
It's not the permit to carry. It's
Right.
just the training certificate. What we do here, once you take that 40-hour course with us, I will issue you a certificate saying that you took that, and then with that certificate, and you go to Brinks or whomever it is, and they say, we want to hire this man, we want him to get an armed security guard permit or license.
Gotcha. I'm
They
following
take
you.
it down
Okay.
downtown to do that.
Gotcha. Okay.
But what we're doing is, I'd like to open this up, we've never done this before, I'd like to open it up to anybody. A
Yeah,
civilian
there's
or,
nothing stopping you from doing it,
exactly,
right?
nothing, but it's never been offered before.
Okay.
And with all the stuff that's going on now, I mean, they
I know
can,
you've got a class coming with it.
yeah, in
soon,
September,
but
yeah.
When are you gonna try to start offering it to civilians?
Really, we need to have at least 4 people in the class to make it cost effective.
Okay.
You
Have you thought about looking at certain groups? First thing comes to mind, obviously, with everything in the recent, past, church groups, man. Because, I mean,
We can't.
huge target.
Yeah, putting this out there right now, we'd like to get some people, hey, talk about this, hey, you can go over there and get this training.
Yeah.
And we'll try to tailor it to fit your schedule.
Right,
I mean, I'm
right.
doing it,
What about information? We tailor my information. If I'm a church group and now I'm like, we got
You don't
fire
have-
suppression under control, but would you teach us?
No, I'm gonna teach
Something
you
else?
fire, I'm gonna teach you fire suppression, because that's mandatory.
Just something, I just picked.
What, you have to do report writing, like citations
Okay.
for armed security. If we have armed security in the class, we're gonna go over it, but maybe that's something we could skip over if it's just a church group. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah. I was just wondering if you could tailor, you know, if I
Sure.
brought 4 or 6 people and we come to take this.
We don't have to put handcuffing in there like we do for armed
Okay.
security guard.
Okay.
But, you know, there's other things that we could tailor to, for a church group or whomever it might be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
we just want people to get more training, basically.
Yeah,
That's
totally
the
agree.
bottom line.
Yeah, because makes all of us safer.
And to say that you've got something, I mean, that's recognized by the city already.
Right, well, it's
That's
recognized
kinda-
by the city, it's recognized by DLCJT, it's recognized by.
American Heart, when we do that, I mean, we're one of the
Yeah,
few.
you're getting several certifications out of this.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good price point.
I think so.
Well-
So if you're interested, as I said, I've already got my first class started in September.
Right,
This is something we want to run continually. If you've got a group of 2 to 4, at least 4 people, we'll open it up, we'll schedule it, and then we'll make it happen.
okay, all right, if you do wanna call, check out our website, or wanna call us, our numbers on the website, 451-9088. LouisvilleArmory.com, you can check us out on Facebook,
Ask to talk to me, Ken, you can check me on Facebook, send me a
I'm gonna say,
message.
everybody comes in here knows Ken.
No,
So, some like him, some don't.
that's-
Make sure you subscribe and hit the alert button. That way, you know when we put a new one out. We'll see you next week.
And remember, knowledge is your best defense. Thank you.
All right. Next week, we'll get them again.
I've got one that I want to do for